Good evening, everyone. After a couple nights of relative quiet, we're coming back with a roar because in this premier matchup of Week 2 of the VRML preseason, it's going to be Rampage versus Nova. Two talented teams looking to make some noise, so stay tuned. On your broadcast booth tonight, I'm Palidore, of course, alongside the goalkeeping aficionado, Dash, and on cameras, it's so much for subtlety. So with that said, tell us how you've been, Dash, and what tonight's matchup has in store.
I've been pretty good. Thanks for asking. But like you said, these two teams coming off, I think, 0-2s for their first week, so they're really hungry for that first win. And I can't really blame them. This is a great matchup. I think a lot of great defense from both teams. I think Nova has some of the best bubble defense that I've seen this season. And on the other side, you have Skinny and Rosie, who are also really good goalkeepers. So I'm interested to see whose defense is going to be stronger, but it's not really about the defense in this, or at least in the first week, it wasn't about the defense. The defense was great for both teams. It was more of the recoveries and capitalizing on those mistakes. Rampage looked like they were kind of shaky in the first week, so I'm hoping that they kind of worked out those kinks and coming back strong, because they definitely have a lot of talent. Like Rosie has a lot of nice heads-up plays in the first week, and Skinny with his goalkeeping caption, trying to make his showing in this sort of debut for Rampage now. But yeah, I'm overall interested. I mean,
It'll
it's
be
just the
good.
recoveries, I think.
Yeah, and like you said, both these teams hungry for the win. However, it's not. They do some tough matchups. Let's get that right. I mean, these are two super talented teams with some longtime players on either end. There are definitely some new to the competitive scene players on either team, but nonetheless, they are well familiar with what they're doing. And QL Young, what are you doing in the chat? About to mute you, boy. Just kidding. But yeah, that's the kind of engagement we want, I think. Maybe. But yeah, so it'll be fun. Looking forward to this one. It's only been 2 nights since we've seen our last matchup, and yet it feels like an eternity after you and I and Sputnik, Dimwit, just so many casts over the course of the week, and of course Wit too on cameras and subtleties. Just we did so much that getting that 2-day break, it was like, what happened? There's nothing.
Yeah, it definitely was a weird one. Seeing I'm like, oh, the first match is on Wednesday. I was like, okay. I mean, I'll take it.
But, yeah, and we were discussing that a little bit, and just I think there was that first week, the first week jitters, the good jitters, where it's like, all right, we're ramping up, getting started here with a new season. It's been 5-6 months since we've had something like this, so everyone was really ramped just to get it going as quickly as possible. But I think now that we're gonna start going into the flow of the regular week to week things, we're gonna start seeing just a little bit more matches towards the end of the week. And as I understand it, that's how it's been with a lot of the other VRML games too, where Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are tending to be the most popular nights. And certainly we're stacked this weekend. And oh my, the Twitch chat is just flooding like none other. It's going supernova. Yeah, C. Jason in there, Boozy as well, 5-spotted dog. Reboot, Gilligan, Andy W. Hello, welcome. QL Young throw disc. Yes, we're about to get started. The teams have already been pinged. They were just waiting on one player, but looks like we're just about good to go. So when they ready up, we're going to be ready up.
Yeah, it looks like they're about to start. I'm excited. I really want to see how these teams are, have adjusted over the first week. The first week it was, you don't really know what to expect. You got to find out. These are new rosters. So it was just natural that there were some jitters, but now they've had that week, some scrims between then. So who's going to be the one who really adjusted over that break?
That's a good question. We already saw some good adjustments last week, I thought, between the two games. But off the first joust, what is this? Blastro starting it the only way you can with a rampage into the goal for 2.
I thought he didn't touch that. I really just too fast to comprehend the play, but I thought it was a 3 because it just seemed so perfect for that bounce.
They will gladly take it. It looked perfect indeed. It was just straight off that ramp and in. I'm not even sure how that ended up being a 2, but
nice.
That it was.
Could have caught him out.
Yeah, some good stacks coming in, but now backing it out anyways to their backline and resetting here. So Rampage in early control and maybe an early second a chance at goal with Skinny. Trying to look for that patient pass, but Sir Dimwit's just going to clear it on out of there, down mid.
Yeah, looking for that dunk, and that was a great choice, but I think the shot was just too slow, or the pass rather. And Dimwit with a good read and
Ooh,
quick
another good
reaction.
read,
A nice
though.
snag from Venom to bounce
Ooh.
back. Now 3-2.
And it was on the 3-point bubble too, right on that edge, and managed to get that in. So Nova right back at Rampage. Good way to start. Hot start, in fact. Nova start.
Missed opportunity for Rampage on that one attack. Now it's starting to look a little big because they could have had a 4-0 game rather than a 3-2. Oh, a nice shake.
They might be looking for it.
Gonna eye the shot with the bounce, and maybe just wide. But Venom has opportunity to back it out. Maybe he will. The great pass and back to Venom. Now Zesper gonna work his way under the goal. You see him on the panel, and Eason's gonna try to find him before he gets stunned. But no, it's just out of the hands of Zesper, and a pickup for Rampage, but a missed clear, and there's those clears that we were talking about. But luckily, they have a chain to recover it, and nice.
You know what? So does Nova, however, because, on the back line, actually, they just go back to goal, so this is going to give a chance to Caption and crew for Rampage to have an assault on the bubble as the defense tries and gets back in the goal. The shot a little off the mark, but still Skinny is there as well as Zesper. Zesper is going to slap it through, but it's not cleanly. But now we see the triple stack, 2 for blue, 1 for orange, getting down court, getting the shot, 3 points. That's a lot for Venom to go up 6-2.
And man, those have just got to hurt. Like, you have 2 opportunities now in a row where you could have scored. The game could have been 6-0 your favor, and they've just bounced back. Like, we're talking about those great recoveries from Nova, and they seem to have it this week. You know, they didn't have it last week. They struggle a bit, but now it looks like their recovery game is just so great, and that quick shot from Zesper, I believe, was so good.
And the chat over in Twitch is loving it. QL now with some squid spam. That's fitting. But now it's going to be floating off into that bubble and looking for a clear, looking for a boost perhaps as it goes into that pocket. And Rampage is still going to take control. There is a stack in that tunnel for Nova, however, but a nice pass delivered to Caption. Caption will have the shot and 3 points as well to bring him within 1.
Yeah, good job on Caption getting open. He caught everybody forward. And it was just an easy 3 points, trying to make up all those missed opportunities from before. And now a 1-point game. Good pacing for them.
And no cap on that one. Caption just leaking out of there to find himself wide open for the 3. The stack tried to get back, but they were unable, so they conceded that goal. And now Dimwit, or Dimwee rather, still getting used to saying that. Of course, he was our new caster last week, one of our new ones. We got 2 new ones this week, I should say. But wait, because a 3-point shot going to go in for Caption. There's the man with that plan and the backboard game as well in hand. Now, as I was saying, we do have 2 new casters just to sort of announce, I suppose. We got Andy W on board, and he's in the chat, I do believe, and Kung coming on board to help us out with casting duties going forward. So welcome, welcome. And with that said, back to the game for Zesper and Nova on the blue crew.
I like this pressure that Rampage is having. They're kind of like starting out and then coming back in to cover all these back passing and the crossing lanes. And there's forcing a bad pass from Nova. Now maybe they'll recover it, but Rosie is there. The quick slap back to goal. And Skinny is going to try to clear this one out, and he will.
So all of Rampage just dived out there, but they're a little bit slow on the boost, so Nova will be able to get that first recollection. Now they're going to send it out, but in the back line is a stack from Rampage just as well, so making up for any mistakes with the speed, which is something I always harp on as being such an important thing, especially in 4v4. Always find your stacks, and Rampage did a good job of that. So they might be going on for a bubble play here. We've got a little bit of a triangle. Going to go off the backboard, and why not? Right in for Caption, another goal. Right now, he's up to 8 out of the 10 points for Rampage, and they've pulled ahead by 4 halfway through this first round.
Yeah, Caption really starting to heat up in this one. You saw he's been the one to bring his team back. He's been leading this comeback, for the past third of the game. Just the 2 3-pointers, and now just scoring off the backboard, catching everyone off guard. So much space was left with him. I think that was a mistake on Nova's part. They shouldn't have left him with so much space. Somebody had a challenge, and instead they had 2 people in goal, and they paid the price for that one. And now a backboard to answer back. But Skinny with the great defense and blocking too. What great awareness.
You challenged the goalie there, but that challenge was met. That was beautiful defense to get it out. Unfortunately, they do not get it through, and now the defense is a bit off balance. If they can find a long cross, they will. Crossing it into the goal now, Sir Dimwee. Yes, sir. For the 2.
And now Rampage kind of made a similar mistake. I think they all boosted back to goal in a panic, but then they had 2 goalies, so maybe separating a bit earlier, getting somebody maybe on the shield could have cut off that cross.
Now going to roll out with the 2-point lead for Rampage. It's Skinny finding that pass to Caption. Caption's going to look way deep now, but it is contested very nicely, that passing lane, and getting that out of there. Blastro, I do believe. Now a quick boost, trying to recover. There are some impending Nova players looking supernova on that stack attack. Now looking for the nest pass and trying to find the bottom of the goal, but only finding a head. And again, that was very close. I think they had maybe an open look, but off someone's head it went. And now the pass off the mark. Blastro's there for the contest, gets a punch, gets a clear, but nowhere except that side wall. But at least for Rampage, plenty of players in the way.
A bit of a scrappy clear. It's kind of actually bounced back, and hopefully they'll be able to make another attempt at this clear. And it looks like Caption's hand kind of lagged out, but at least he got it off, because that would have been unfortunate.
He was looking like the Statue of Liberty there for a second, just holding it up. Like, look at my torch, and now it's trying to torch them. Maybe if they can get that and recover it, but nope, it's gonna be stolen. Caption's getting that in there. They'll have a back pass softly over to Skinny, but Skinny is just gonna be out of the way, and the disc floating on through. As in the back line, it's Venom, at the midline, I should say.
Yeah, so it looks like Caption's having a bit of tech issues. There was a great opportunity right there to score, but out of his hands, quite literally, his hand seemed to have just shot out and he couldn't make the pass. So unfortunate for Rampage, that was a really good opportunity to get some more insurance points.
And causing a turnover there too. I'm not sure if the camera caught it, but it was Vlastro in the back line getting a stun on that soft pass. So that's what enabled Rampage to recover it and take possession here. Now they have the 2 points. They're up by 2 points. They have about 2 minutes left in this first round. So wanting to take care of the disc here and find an easy shot if they can. Because if they do it, they're going to make it a 2-goal game, but nice off the head. And now taken back by Dimwee. But right into the hands of Caption. Now Caption's going to go up on goal, wisely back pass and stun Sir Dimwee. Now down low to Rosie Hope. And with a ropey dope, it's into the goal to go up by that 4 points.
Initially, they stuffed Rosie. It looks like she might have dinged it. And then a good sort of half dive by the goalie, but that time they left her wide open. Nobody challenged her, and she had all the time in the world to take a high shot.
And we know how tough it is trying to defend those backboard passes. You have to be so quick on those dives, recognizing when it's coming through, and maybe an open goal if they don't overshoot, but they do. Blastro's going to be there, and nice stun there on Zesper. It was Rosie, I think, getting that stun, but now stuns right back, so some brawls going through. 90 seconds left. Nova down by 4. They need to act quickly to come back in this first round.
Yeah, and all Rampage needs to do is really just slow it down. I mean, they have a minute 20. They don't need to push in. I mean, they have some insurance, but it only takes a 3-pointer to bring this game back into, a loss situation,
Yeah, that last goal they had was a good buffer. They really needed that to just buy a little bit of comfort, knowing that they, no matter what, they wouldn't lose off one more score. But still, now if they do this one, Caption with authority. Or maybe with Liberty, Statue of Liberty, and just swinging it on through to go up 14-8. And that is yet even more cushion for Rampage. Feeling good, about to take this first round win.
Again, you can have great defense. You can have the best bubble defense. But whenever you let somebody just march up to the goal, strong as you can be, you're not gonna get around that dunk. Like, they got the punch off, but he was already in the swinging motion. There was no way that he was gonna save that.
He got that full extension on that dunk, just swung around that.
Oh, and here again, maybe leaving a bit open. Now Caption's gonna think better of it and just kill time. Yeah, as this game is closing out, and it looks like it will be Rampage's win with that last little
talk about closing out there. Just one more dunk for good measure. The points, of course, mattering. The differentials, anyways, once they get added up. Rampage, they're a team who will know that as well as anyone, I think, because last week Rampage faced Team Flare. Now, while they lost 2 games to Flare, they actually came back with a really strong third overall. Actually, no, I think they were a closer game. I'm thinking a different one. Sorry, but nonetheless they came back and with some strong scoring. And actually, by the end of it, they had a tied up score differential. So even though Flare won last week against Rampage, the end differential was actually 26-26. So every point does count. So those dunks at the last second, they're going to take it.
Yeah, definitely never a situation ever for you to slow down. You always got to keep that momentum going. It helps you, and it also hurts the team. Whenever you get scored on in the last second, it's a real big blow to the mental state. And I think that's what every team kind of strives for. If you beat them in the mental game, you'll beat them in the physical game too. It's all connected. It's tough, but I think that's what separates the great teams from like the good teams.
Right.
Is the ability to bounce back despite, getting scored on maybe, or having like a tough loss. It's about, the attitude. Bouncing back, saying like, hey, let's just brush this one off. We'll get the next one. And those are the teams that really excel.
And well, here we're going to go accelerating into the second round. And again, just hi to the Twitch chat. They're really active tonight, maybe missing these games as much as I have the last couple of days. So Office Joust is going to go off the bottom ramp, getting a nice stun. Dimwee is able to get one on Blastro to enable that recovery. But I see 17th charge
man,
there.
Hesitation.
BTS King as a shot goes and misses. See Jason, virtual reality. See, I'm doing my streamer duties today. I'm paying more attention. Getting used to this thing called streaming. But yeah, so going in, it's going to be Caption. Going for that pass. That was nice to Blastro. No problem.
Yeah, luckily this time around, as opposed to the first game where whenever they missed the one shot, that one opportunity, they got immediately punished hard for it. A good recovery will at least save them 2 points. They had an open 3. It was a great play by Caption. Sometimes, dude, those goals look so juicy that you miss them. It really hits it at the worst time. And now Eason going to try to work around this one defender, and it was a good job at it. Rosie almost getting the interception.
I don't think I've heard anyone describe goals as juicy before. I'm not sure I like it, but we'll go with it. Now going with a pass down low, actually, with the arms going extendo, it's Zesper.
Well, it's like a...
I get it, because these matches are high stakes.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But Nova is going to take that tying point and now going to try to work their defense to pull ahead and hopefully tie up the series. Rampage, on the other hand, has other ideas as they try to pass around this, but the pass going too fast. Going to get past Rosie. Rosie might have opportunity to snag this one. Almost just on the tip of her fingers. Now Rosie and Blastro going to try to team up. Maybe Chain here. Get back to this long pass.
And so it will be Zesper taking control as slowly floating back into the goal for Rampage. Got 2 defenders as Zesper encroaches. Now looking for that corner pass. The bubble. He backs that on out. Nice stuns, or actually shield from Skinny to deny that. And now a pass. Kind of haphazard. Eason trying to cut there. But looking for the pass. So
bounce coming all the way back into their third. Wow, that's going to hurt.
And yeah, so Zesper's going to take that now. Still in the goal, though. Caption is there. He's going to back pass it to Skinny. Skinny has 2 teammates in back. Just looks for the clear and the stack instead. Got a light boost and an open goal. If he can get that grab, the grab goes, but the re-grab right back. But again, so tapping that out, missing that disc, and now free floating, trying to find some free points as it is 2-2, 3 minutes into the second round.
And that's the second time that Nova has just gone snuck up on. Like Rampage, I don't know what they're doing. They're taking these weird blind spot routes, I guess, because they've had 2 opportunities now. I think Caption had the first one. Blastro had that one right there. Unfortunately, Blastro couldn't get his arm around for the throw because the second guy was there to steal it right back.
If nothing else, I think Nova got to feel good about themselves for the moment, just because all this work coming in from Rampage. But so far, it is tied up in this second round, so it hasn't produced any goals or any big leads for Rampage yet. It's still even, because for looking at those team stats at the moment, won't have Subtlety pull it up now for you or anything in the middle of gameplay, but it is fairly lopsided in Rampage's favor all around, like possession time and steals and assists. I mean, it's all in Rampage's favor, but Nova is hanging in there. So if they can weather this storm, they have a lot of room to come back strong as we get into this last round and a half of gameplay.
And that's a strong clear, and Chain, they'll be there first for this dunk, and finally scoring after that long volley, 2 minutes and 20 seconds almost. Just like patient attacks. And that's great about Rampage. You know, they're taking their time, very similar to like Team Orbit. In Orbit, they take their time. And
it was looking,
that makes the other team kind of anxious sometimes. And it just depends, on the mentality too. It's like, well, nothing's happening, let's make something happen, and that kind of plays right into
Zesper, the nice spin there though, trying to make something happen. Indeed. Talk about these long volleys going back to back and forth. Looks like never mind. It's right back in the hands of Captain now, actually. So he's going to get the clear and now find that side wall. But right back to Rosie. Rosie slowing it down as 3 teammates speed on ahead and now take position. Trying to cut off those passes. There are 2 Nova players finding that middle one, but some nice short-range passing, but unfortunately resulting in that missed pass, actually bouncing and now into the hands and into the goal. Zesper, it will go.
And it looks like Rampage right there was lacking a little bit of separation. Like they all boosted into that one tube. They were covered, and they try to separate, but one of them did separate. They made the pass. After that, nobody else separated. And I think maybe if they can coordinate some separation. Oh wow, and a weird bounce, gonna bounce to the midfield, and it looks like Caption will be there first in the open net. It might bounce into the hands of Lastro, but it's just out of his reach.
Those overshoots are always so killers, right when they're just at your fingertips and you can't recover it. But Nova did pull ahead there with their previous goal and finding themselves now in stronger position than they had in that first 5 minutes in this round. So maybe they can get something going here.
Snag.
Looks like it is going to be Venom still recovering and looking for that clear down the tunnel. Now it's going to bounce into the bubble, and Stax attempting to come back. That is deep in there, and Easton's going to have him in open one for the 2, and going up by 3 now.
Yeah, I mean, so now we're seeing kind of like the Rampage of last week, a little bit of nerves. They're missing these slow passes that definitely should be made. It's not like these passes are rushed or pressured. They're just not making them. And if they want to win and take this series, they really got to clean up that passing game, because Nova is just so fast on these chains that any recoveries are going to go into the hands of Nova.
So maybe Rampage just needs to ramp down a little bit. Cool down, slow it down. I know Skinny, that's something he is likely emphasizing to his team.
Nice,
that's kind of the whole philosophy. And now actually back into the bubble area, bounces off the shield, but still recovered. This could be some trouble for Nova. They're going to go on the approach and find a nice pass to Skinny. It's what they needed.
Again, Nova maybe getting a little too comfortable with having Eason as their goalie. Eason's a great goalie, but whenever you leave a behind the goal pass or something under, people just march up and you can't really do anything about it.
Yeah, in those cases, once they go behind the backboard, you want to see them start attacking the QB, whoever that may be at the given time. Just don't give them the opportunity to get close enough to make those backboard passes with any kind of quickness or efficiency, because that's where you kind of get killed on those passes. If you cut it off early, you're golden. And now trying to get there early and maybe be open for a shot. Now the defense retreating there, so Rosie backing it out to a stack, and then right back to Rosie. So they're down by 1, looking for that deep backboard pass. And those are the ones I'm talking about. So it's in for Vlastro. But you see how long that pass was. It was very diveable if you're Nova.
Yeah, I mean, just
a lot of time.
Going back to what I said, maybe they are getting a little too comfortable with Eason, being such a great goalie. He's a great goalie. He gets a lot of saves. But that shouldn't be your only defensive strat, because it puts a lot of pressure on the guy. Wow. Lastro with a quick turnover, but no 3. Hopefully a 2. And almost missing that one. Come on, don't scare us like that, Lastro.
It's one of those things where you're so wide open, you have so much time. I think we've all probably been there at one point or another, where it's like you have all day to line it up. And then it's like, what do I do with my hands? You know, you don't have the momentum, you don't have quite the speed behind the shot, and then you start overthinking it too much. Remember in fact, I think we both of us had back in last season. Oh, as a turnover comes back here towards the end in qualifiers, we both had, like in the opening minutes, just missed wide open goals. At least I had one. So they happen. They're not an uncommon thing per se.
Yeah, they always happen, but you know they really hurt whenever the games are so close like this. Only 3 points separating, and only 3 points for Nova being out of this series. You know.
Oop, but the missing that overshoot again might have kept them in it for that open 3 otherwise. Now diving, good dive that time, but better pass. Oh, nice. Blastro found Caption there, and see, on that one they actually dove. That was a good job. They contested it, but then the pass, so the good recognition there.
Yeah, it was a great pass, but I almost like screamed internally if that was a missed opportunity because it was an open net after that dive.
Yeah, but I like the adjustment nonetheless. Like I can only assume that's playing a part in comms, just recognizing that last play where they kind of lost it on the long pass, they didn't really pressure at all. So that one looked much better on the adjustments, but still Rampage finding a way. And now with the 1-game lead already, the 1-round lead, they might be looking at their first victory here, but Nova trying to steal it or make a game out of it.
Rosie, see that? She covered the shield pass, knocked the guy out, and then had the turnover. And now Dimwee going to be quickly pressured, and a missed pass to Isen is going to allow Rosie one more chance at this goal. Across out to Blastro. Blastro for the 3, and Dimwee off of his head, looks like.
Right in the goal for him. Yep, right inside that goal, just positioned as perfectly as it could be, but not quite out of the goal. And so with that said, Rampage coming ahead in this game, in this round. That is 2 to Rampage. And finally getting their first official win of the season, 1 week in, coming through after that light, discombobulation to start off the second round, but they managed to get back in it and do some work. And now Nova, they made some adjustments as well, but was just not enough at the time to get through that. And before I forget, Dash, give us a run through of the scores / stats, because we're talking so much between these, we're not going through them.
I mean, Caption, the first game, that was all him. Rampage is down within like the first 3 minutes of the game, and it's like, ooh, now it's looking a little ugly. But Caption, the saving grace, answering back with those 6 points actually to get his team back in there, and then continues to pile on all these points. And I think that you see on the scoreboard, there's 12 points to Caption, but in this game, Blastro had a lot of opportunities. Having that one sneak, and then the great defensive rollout. And Rosie, look at the assists that Rosie has. 5 assists to Rosie's name. A real playmaker, and Skinny being that great backline. It doesn't really say. It says only 1 save, but he has more than that because he's just diving out on these passes, not allowing anything to get into that bubble or anything under. They've been doing a great job.
Those lines tend to get blurred, between saves, steals, interceptions. The gameplay is so fast, and there's so much action in bubble that one is good as the other in most cases. Now, it's going to be a quick joust off taken first by Blastro of Rampage, looking for that backboard. Actually, no, just straight in, but it's going to be saved there by Dimwee. Not able to get the clear, though.
And maybe Blastro thought he had more time on that stun, and it was a right move, but I think maybe a bit of communication or a dunk being there just in case if that goalie was coming back.
Yeah, so right now
his 3 looks like he caught all the defenders out.
A little bit off guard there, yeah. I was gonna say just there, Team Nova hitting the 100 stun count as a team, actually 101 Dalmatians on the scoreboard right now. So that's the one stat they're pulling ahead. Also the saves, they do have 80% of the saves, but the other stats at the moment, just when it comes to the assists, the shots taken, and the possessions. Those are playing into Rampage's advantage pretty heavily so far in this match, and now just kind of slowly floating on. Neither team able to collect on the first attempt, so Venom will take that for Nova.
And Caption, doing a great job at just trying to cover those back passes, and actually results in an error. Well, Rosie will pick it up and reset for another attack. Skinny with a quick pass down low, but it's in between both of his players. Nobody's going to pick it up. Caption's going to try to recover it. Pass it back down. Maybe a bit of panic going on right now, even though they're not really pressured. Maybe just solve that. And another missed pass. Maybe just too much pepper on that one. Skinny with a great recovery and another three-pointer. But it'll be denied by Dimwee.
He tried peppering that one in, but it wasn't able to get through. So instead, looks like Venom getting cracked in the head and then losing the disc. But nice little spin from Zesper. Zesper's going to find a clear. A good leech as well from Venom. Venom's going to get off the shot. He will. I wasn't sure he had the angle, but that was a good leech. He showed great patience to not stun or attempt to stun. He just waited, bided his time, and somehow found that tight angle on the shot.
Yeah, that was a great angle from Venom. You know, he has a really good shot. You leave him alone in the tube, and that's a mistake. I feel like he's nailed every single tube shot he's been given in the short time we've seen him play.
He will gladly take your mistakes and turn them into something great, just like that, to tie it up at 3 apiece.
Oh, and there's a great dive from Nova. So, you know, a great job at adjusting. I think that's Nova's like strong suit, is they really adjust over the games. Unfortunately, they didn't adjust in time to win the series, but they can still win this game and save themselves some MMR.
Yeah, now that's a quick pass, just doesn't find anyone, at least immediately, but still on the recovery. Now the nest pass, that's going to go in. Diving out is 2 or 3 goalies for Nova, but still making the points instead. Caption now finding himself in possession of 14 points through these 3 rounds.
Yeah, and Caption's pass was almost intercepted. It was a great defensive rotation by Nova, just missing him. You can't really argue with that one. You know, I think they played the bubble right. It was just, you know, half a second too late, unfortunately for Nova. But they do have a good setup on offense right now. They get a nice back pass to Venom, and Venom up to his teammate on the torch. Cesper's going to have to reset, though. Doomy's going to look low. Neeson is going to slow it down once more.
And he's going to back that out, and like you said, slow it down, look for their opportunities. Venom's going to go across, and he's going to find their man. Now, little dive, loose dive coming out from Blastro. It does result in a bit of a bouncy pass that finally finds Venom. Venom's going to go backboard. No one diving on that early enough, so will result in the 2 instead. So that was some great defense from Nova. Or great from Rampage, yeah, but it seemed like they just had so many cross attempts, cross passes back and forth that eventually they were able to find that goal because of it. But that was some good defense otherwise, but just too much of a sustained effort, and it's hard to maintain that kind of defense for very long.
Ooh, and a good idea on that crossing pass, but it looks like it's going to be a quick shot from Venom, and oh man, almost punishing. I told you what a great shot he has, and he was just off the mark on that one. So
Eason's going to bring that one in. Look for his pass as well. That was beautifully done from Ease. Send to Zesper. Gotta love that team play connection right there. Taking the lead now. And so far, this third round, this first 5 minutes or so, is looking a lot like the first few minutes of the other round, where it was just kind of very even. But then the last few things, one of these teams starts to pull away. So we'll see if that's going to be the case again.
What a great joust right there, man. I didn't really see him. I was spectating Skinny, and I just saw like the shadow, if you will, of those blue players as they came around that block.
Yeah, always an intimidating thing. Hairs in the back of your neck stick up, and looking now for a back pass into that bubble. Now through, good dive. So there you go again. Dim with the intercept. He's been playing some great defense, has 4 saves officially, and then not to mention those kind of intercepts, those clears. Maybe you can buy themselves another shot on this end if they play their cards right.
Oh, and a weird little back pass, but luckily Rosie will get it. And passing to Blastro. They're trying to work this one out of their half. But nobody's forward, so they're forced to clear, and then Nova just has a quick chain. Actually, 2 chains right there. And again, they're going to have to chain back to this clear, which is actually a pass to Dimwee. Dimwee might clear this one. Oh, nice. Oh, but he can't get away from Skinny. Skinny just quickly adjusted on that one.
I remember 2 chains. But now maybe going up for the 2-on-1 assault. Skinny's just going to go directly to the bottom of the goal instead. That was too sweet.
So both teams looking super strong right now. I mean, it's just a matter who makes that last mistake, because it's just been back and forth. And 4 minutes nearing. Yeah, I'd say we're going to have like a photo finish.
Could be lining ourselves up for that, trying to line up this pass. It's Zesper in the corner, deep one down low. Those ones are often very risky. But now, trying to assault the goalies, now Skinny is actually dove out of goal, so recovering his Venom, and Venom striking there for the 2-point shot again. Pulling away, but for very long, probably not, based on how the rest of this round is going. This has been some back and forth action.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Rampage was with their, second chain, because they just kind of left Skinny in a 4v1 right there. That's kind of not really some odds you want to take as a goalie. Now he's going to take his time, keeping his eye on the chain.
And trying to find that link to Skinny, but instead it actually just goes past the hands of Caption, so taking it back is going to be Esen. Now Esen, some light pressure there, trying to find their short-range passes, but instead it's going to be a turnover to Caption, not losing his arms on that one, just finding some disc, and now going down low, but great save, Sir Dimwit. Hands of his own right, getting another one, still has 4 on the scoreboard, but that was definitely his 5th at least.
Yeah, I think Rosie got a little too greedy on that dunk opportunity. Maybe a shot would have favored better, because he dove out at the right moment, getting the punch and the disc at the same time.
Now, just a great goalie. Shot by Caption, but I've noticed this watching Dimwee, for months now, and seeing him in scrims and also in beer league and things like that. He's a great goalie, just plain and simple. And I think that kind of defensive energy and hustle is something that can be infectious towards the other team. And we talked about how good of a defensive team that Nova has proven that they can be. So I think it's one of those things where it's just it travels from teammate to teammate. When you have these teammates getting great defensive saves, it just inspires you to get the job done. If you're everyone else, just off the mark.
Yeah, Skinny almost got caught with his pants down on that one, as Esper just barely misses that shot, and now a clear mail slot kind of attempt. But
Nova's been really quick.
Great chain.
Yeah, they've been very quick on these stacks this round compared to before. Seemingly finding their speed. They found a tied-up game so far, and we have about 90 seconds left. So next goal could be a huge one, vital for either of these teams. Nova trying to take a third game as consolation, if nothing else, also pull ahead, even up some of that score differential. But that's not going to be the case, because a shot from a deep angle again, and that is Blastro this time, going up 11-9.
Not the shot I think I would have taken at that angle.
That was even tighter of an angle than the one earlier, I think. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. The goalie was there, so hey, I think it was a proper move. Who knows if he had delayed just a second more, the save would have came out. Oh, and Rosie with the great pickup and clearing low. And Dimwee's going to have to chase this one. And looks like he misreads it. And Blastro now has an opportunity for a 1v1. He's going to try to go for it again. Wow.
The anchor.
He did that to Dimwee.
Yeah, again, a save, or partial anyways, but just not quite outside the goal enough to make it count. Those anchors from that corner, they're going to hurt when they go in, and just like that, it's 14-9 in favor of Nova, or favor of Rampage, I should say. Nova falling behind after keeping up for most of this match. Trying to take another shot, though. They will go in for Zesper, so there you go, buying themselves a few more.
And this might be the last opportunity for Nova. I think they have a great PE joust, so they do have a chance at this. If they can shake it from Skinny, which is the QB, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, it looks like he almost missed it on that joust, and that would have been a real heartbreaker. But it looks like that will be the game.
Instead, it's 14-11 favor Rampage in this third round. Nova hanging right in there, very competitive all the way through in all 3 rounds, but Rampage just finding themselves at the advantage today at all ends and just firing on all cylinders. We saw some good defense from Nova, but Rampage just could not be stopped tonight.
Yeah, Rampage was definitely looking clean today. Caption lighting it up in the first round, and then Blastro for the second round. And this time, in this third round, it was kind of a huge back and forth. Nova and Rampage not really giving it up. And, Nova, props to them, they had some great chains. Like, their recovery game was just excellent.
Absolutely.
It's tough to deal against a team that has a great recovery game like Nova. It's so nerve-wracking. It's like if we make any mistake, they're gonna be there. Like any clear that goes out gets past our back line, they're there.
And well, just gotta say, high score for Rampage, Caption getting it done there, but even distribution, Nova, 11 points apiece for Venom and Zesper. The high saves going to Sir Dimwee with the 5 that were recorded, but certainly more than that, especially just on the dives, the intercepts, things like that. And it was some strong gameplay. Just real quick as well, now that this match is over, do note, everyone, that at about 9:30 Central, which is to say roughly 20 minutes or so from now, 15 minutes, something like that, I, along with Strembitsky, B-Love, and Rampage player Rosie Hope, actually, will be joining Vivian from The Buzz live on YouTube to have a little chit-chat and interview about Echo Arena, VRML, and the future. So that'll be fun. I'm going to post a link real quick in the chat here. Hopefully I don't get banned. That would be kind of funny if I did, though. All right, there you go. That's just a YouTube link live stream. So we're going to start that rather imminently, so be sure and join us. If you want to see my face. If you don't, that's understandable. But in any case, it should be fun.
Yeah, and thanks everyone as always for tuning in and showing your love and support for the players. It really means a lot. Say it every time, but we really do appreciate it. Like it's great to see you guys watching the stream and interacting with us. I really love reading the Twitch chat, even though I can't answer it every time. And I see you guys, I acknowledge you guys. I try to at least, but the action's going on. It's hard to have a real break. Sometimes you just have like 2 seconds to call everybody's name out, and that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. We try. I think we're rolling along, getting better. It's been fun, and I'm glad we have some games back on the map again. I know it's only been 2 nights off, but it feels like an eternity, and I want to keep casting some more. I know we've got a huge lineup of some amazing matches coming over the next few days, so definitely stay tuned to those ones as well. I know tomorrow we have at 1 p.m. Central the Backlash versus Team Gravity. That's a marquee matchup for sure in the European side. There's also Fusion and Smash Dash, and Blast and Team Summit. And then later on in the night for North America side, we have Nova and Spaghetti starting at 7 Central, as well as Illuminati versus Orbit. Now that match, I'm very, very, very curious about. That's going to be an interesting one because Orbit is one of the teams that kind of took me by surprise and just how good and how steady their gameplay was. And Illuminati, well, we know what they're capable of and those individuals on that team. So it'll be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. So definitely stay tuned for those tomorrow night.
And plenty of games over the weekend, I hear. I think the weekend is stacked. So hope you'll join us for those games. I'm excited to see like these matchups. They're only going to get better and better with each passing week. And I assume the games, will be closer and closer, and already starting with some good matchups for this week, I think.
Oh yeah, got started with a good one, and it's just going to be rolling on from there. I can feel it in my bones, sort of. But anyway, looking forward to all that. So again, thank you everyone for joining us here in VRML preseason. This has been the beginning of week 2 with much more to come. And again, click that link that I posted in chat if you want to join us for the Buzz, as we have a little sit down of sorts with some of the faces of Arena for an hour-long discussion, more or less. It'll be fun. But until then, and until the next cast, I've been Palidore, that's been Dash. So much for Subtlety's been on the cameras, and we thank you for joining us, and have a good night.